So as you see, the error that we encounter is called, it's a output dot item name. Okay, so where is the error? Activity get metadata for blob output dot item name. Because this is happening, if I go to this particular um, for each loop. Okay, and if you go to this activity setting over here, and if you click over here, you will see that this particular thing, activity get metadata for blob output dot item name. Okay, item name was previously present because we are using the item name, you remember. Okay, now it does not have the item name property over here because we removed it. Okay, so that should be your child item. Okay, if you click it, now you want to validate it, it's validated successfully. Now if you want to run it, you can just click this particular debug and it will run eventually. As you see, now we are running our ADF pipeline. Okay, so get metadata is a success. Now it is running for the for each, then the copy data, because why this two copy data? If you ask me why this two copy data, because you remember that in our input we have two files. Okay, so of course this copy activity need to be performed twice. That is what over here. Okay, so of course we have to wait the things to be completed, because the corresponding cluster will be created and all the activity will be performed. Okay, so again we have a fail notification over here. Okay, because the inner activity has failed. Okay, what is the inner activity? Let's understand that. Okay, for each loop was failed because the inner activity was failed. Okay, okay, here you can see what is the input. The input is coming as delimited text source. That's fine. As you see, okay, let me bring it up. Okay, so as you see, this is the source, this is the wildcat file name, it's being picked up rightly. This is number one. That was happening at that point of time. Okay, so that was picked nicely, but it just failed over here. And this is your input, remember, and this is your output. Why it is being failed? Okay, so if you see our database operation failed, please search the error to get a more result. What it is saying right now for us, invalid object name. Oh, okay, got it. So it's saying that although I can copy from your so okay, let us go slow over here to understand this particular error. Okay, so as I told you, error is always good. It is an indication that we are running in the right path. Okay, so it's a practical demo. This kind of error can happen to you also. Okay, so how would you debug it? Okay, that's the question. Now let us understand the error first. So what is happening over here? Get metadata from the blob means, so of course the metadata was abstracted from the blob. That's fine. That's the number one. It was success. Now for each loop was failed because it is the input of the for each loop. Okay, so item count is 2. Yes, we are happy with that. And it is the output of the for each. What is saying? It's a empty array. It's showing over here. Okay, now it says that if you click over here, what is the error? It says that activity failed because an inner activity failed. Okay, so what was the inner activity? The inner activity was copy the blob file to the SQL. That was the inner activity of this for each. Now 2 times it was failed because 2 times the same activity was tried to be performed, but it was failed. Okay, so what is the input of this particular activity? If you see, if you make it big, so it is taking this particular CSV file. That's good, but that's the source. That's good. Okay, what happened to the destination? Means what happened to the destination, or at the last step, it's saying that it's a SQL error, that invalid object name, because it tried to push the data to this particular table of the SQL server, but we don't have that table in the SQL server, right? That is the causing the error for us. Now in the second activity you will see the same thing. Okay, as you see, you will see that what is the particular this one. Okay, so cannot access the destination table train, because train is not present in the SQL database, because our SQL database is absolutely empty, it does not have a table. Okay, so where we missed out. Okay, now if you edit this again one more time, for each copy to SQL, okay, under the sync means under the destination, okay, there is an option called table option, none, auto created table. Okay, that means if your table is already there, you pick up the none, you don't have to create the table. But if your database lacks the table, does not have the table, right, then of course you need to pick up the auto create table. Okay, see, it automatically creates the table if not exist in the source schema, which is not supported when the stored procedure is used as the write behavior. Okay, means see, this insert is happening via a dynamic SQL that ADF is providing over here. Now if you pick up the stored procedure, it is not applicable. Okay, so of course you can run the stored procedure from ADF. That's a separate context, a separate video I will create onto that direction. But for now, write behavior is the insert. ADF will create the dynamic SQL for that, but the table is not present over there. That is why we need to pick up the auto create table over here. Okay, now you validate it. Okay, great. Now you debug it, means you have to run it for another time. So it is always nice, as I told you, because errors are the real-time things. A lot of demo you will see there is no error. People are not talking about the errors, how to debug those errors, because see, learning a technology is one part of that. Okay, but if you go deep in it, then you can identify easily, this is the error. Oh, okay, that is the reason for it. It's kind of symbiosis over there. Okay, so now as you see, as while we talked about, so this get metadata was a success, for each was a success, copy to blob was a success, copy to blob to SQL was a success. Now if you inspect this, okay, as you see, data written, if I make it big, okay, so see, data read, data written, okay, file read, all the information are put it over here. Okay, that's the schematic information that the pipeline was successful. So can we verify the fact that pipeline was successful? Let us go to the SQL table. Okay, now if I refresh it, okay, now you will see two table. Okay, dbo.social network ads and dbo.trend was created. Okay, now let us pick up some record from it. Yeah, select stuff from trend. Yeah, that's cool, right? So as you see, we have successfully inserted the data from the CSV file of the train to the Azure SQL database. On the fly, we created the data on the fly, we created a table on the fly. Okay, and of course you can write your own customized query to, if you really want to see how many data are there, normal SQL things. Okay, you can stop it. Okay, so this is the table social networking ads. The data was inserted into the SQL table. Okay, so if you want to verify your count, select star, or that statement, right? Count one from, okay, we have 400 for it. Okay, now if you change the thing to the another table, train, how many count are there? So that is 891. Okay, now one important thing to notice over here, that how, see, the thing is that today, like it is 11:14 that we uploaded this file, 11:14, and we done the pipeline and we have the data in the SQL database. Okay, So let's assume that's a weekly file consumption or a monthly file consumption. Okay, so of course this file will be overwritten in your input data container of the particular storage account, block container of the storage account. So once the fresh data is coming into the place, okay, you do not need to write anything anymore. Only thing is that you need to trigger this pipeline to ingest the new data onto the same table. Okay, and the fantastic part is that as the table has been already created, okay, it will just going to use those table and insert your new data. Okay, so let me show you that. Let me run this pipeline for one more time just to show you. It will be a duplication of the data, I understand, because I'm not going to modify those data, but in a practical scenario, let's assume we have 10 CSV file over here. In a weekly manner we are getting 10 CSV file or 5 CSV file that we want to consume to a particular SQL table over there. Okay, and we want to run it a weekly basis, and we can even give a trigger for that. Okay, so trigger part I will be covering in the next video because it is already very lengthy for me. Okay, so let's see it in a practical scenario. Let's run it. This count will be double up for us. Okay, let's see. Let's run it one more time. It will be coming up any moment actually. Just we have to wait. That's it. Yeah, now it's being successful. Okay, now if you go to this particular SQL, what is that? Yeah, this one, right? The count was 891. Now if you run it, then it's 1782, just a double of it. Okay, so that's all for this particular demo series of ADF. I'll be making more video on ADF in the corresponding upcoming videos. You will have those things over here. For now, that's all I want to say. That keep practicing on ADF. That's a fantastic technology. It's a very helpful technology where you don't write to a single line of code to perform this kind of ETL activity on a very first very effective manner. Thank you for watching the video. Let's meet another time. Okay, bye for now.